future CEOs, welcome to Prosperous AF, the podcast that's about to inject some serious hustle and humor into your entrepreneurial journey.
That's right, Amber. I'm Francine and this is Amber. And together we're here to tell you being your own boss doesn't have to be a drag. It can actually be prosperous AF.
In this series, we're diving headfirst into the world of entrepreneurship, specifically designed for small minority-owned businesses. Because let's be real, the game is different for us.
Absolutely. And in this very first episode, Is This For Me?, we're tackling the big question: is the entrepreneurial life really your calling?
So we'll be sharing our own experiences, the good, the bad, and the downright hilarious, plus tips and tricks to help you decide if you've got what it takes to build your empire.
So grab your coffee, your tea, whatever gets your hustle going, and get ready to be inspired, entertained, and maybe even a little bit terrified, because Prosperous AF starts now.
Woo!
Hello world, my name is Francine Tia. I am a human resource guru with over 10 years of experience in this field. I am married to a lovely man whose name is Omar. I have 4 kiddos, and I am embarking on this entrepreneurial journey with my bestie, sister, and business partner, Amber.
Oh, thank you. That was a very nice introduction for me. So I'm Amber Mensa, and I am the finance expert of the team. And I have worked in multiple positions during my career, but finance is my favorite. And let's see, I mostly describe myself as a soccer mom. I am very involved with my son's soccer life, and I am married as well to Matthew. And let's see, yeah, that's about it. I'm just, trying to do the entrepreneurial thing, and I'm so glad I partnered up with Francine, and because we complement each other very, very well. So we are very excited to get started.
Super excited. Welcome.
So I'm going to now tell everybody about how we met and partnered up. So Francine and I met at a well-known nonprofit here in the Twin Cities, and we were both working on the same team. I believe I was there about a couple weeks before Francine, so we entered into the team around the same time. And so we quickly found out that we just clicked, talking, going to lunch together. I think it was your second day we went to lunch together. And just started talking about our families and where we come from and our mutual communities. And so we just clicked real quick. Just you find somebody who can just laugh with and you can have inside jokes with. We clicked that way.
We clicked about entrepreneurship quite early on in our relationship, and we determined that we both had a mindset of we need to figure out next steps in our life. We need to build for the future, for our kiddos, for our families. And we both had multiple businesses that we had started.
That's right.
So we talked and discussed, about our businesses and just about what we were doing on the side, how I could help, how she could help me, because she is the nerdy organizational guru and I am Madam Social Media. So it is a partnership made in heaven. So we started talking just about systems, and she helped implement a lot of the systems that we use now for me to not only organize my business, but streamline my life. Because as we know, checklists are her thing. And it worked. And we got to a place in our journey, in our employment journey, where we realized that maybe we need to take the leap of faith and dive into this thing that we obviously do so well, and do it together, because we both bring different tools, different pieces, different expertise to the table, and partnering up, we felt would be a match made in heaven, and has worked so well thus far. Hence, we are here now on the Prosperous AF podcast.
That's right.
Live and direct.
Live. Well, I think one of the things was I was a little nervous to bring this up to you because we both had separate businesses. Mm-hmm. But I knew for a while that I was looking for a business partner because, as we'll get into in some of the other pieces, is that it's really hard to do things on your own. Mm-hmm. And there's been multiple iterations of my business thus far, mm-hmm. But there's just some pieces of my business that I just haven't been able to get up and going. So I knew that I needed a business partner. Mm-hmm. So one night I bit the bullet and I was like, you know what? I know we have these separate businesses, but I think that it would be better off if we just teamed up together. And she immediately was like, yes!
Absolutely. Count me in. And mind you, that was a month ago, guys. And here we are launching this wonderful business in realms that we know so well, mm-hmm. and also bringing this podcast to you because we feel there's so many people in this exact spot. Mm-hmm. It is not easy. It is a journey. It is a learning curve, and it will never be perfect, but you have to modify it and you have to make it perfect for you or us if you are entering into something with someone else. But we knew from the beginning that we both possessed the tools to bring each other what we needed to make sure that this would be successful. And hence, here we are. Loving what we're doing, motivating each other on a daily basis, picking each other up because, man, will you know, in this episode, this journey has been an interesting ride. It has been one with some pain and some gain. Mm-hmm. And it seems like in entrepreneurship, that's just the inevitable.
Yes.
It's not easy. It never will be. You're not going to have overnight success like some people may tell you. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And when you have a partner, if you do, it makes it a little easier. But if you're a solar entrepreneur, streamlining and, putting yourself amongst people who keep you motivated. And I think that's what made me and Amber come together so quickly, is because I couldn't find someone in my own realm or my own environment who had the entrepreneurial mentality that I had. A lot of my friends and close people are very comfortable in their careers, and that's fine. That's 100% okay. Hence why we wanted to launch this podcast, to see if maybe you're having that pit in your stomach and wanting to know, hey, this isn't working for me. This path isn't my path. Is there some inspiration out there that can help streamline me, guide me into launching something for myself? And that's why we wanted to make sure that we bring this forth to the public, forth to anyone who may be unsure, because I started with that pit in my stomach and I was very anxious and nervous about starting a business when I was starting it by myself. But I've gotten to a place in my journey where it's like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And let's help people like us find that footing. Whether you decide, hey, maybe entrepreneurship is not for me based on our journey, or hey, I can identify with that. And I think this is exactly the path I want to go on. So this will be the series for that. The series is called Intro to Entrepreneurship. This is our introductory, just you getting to know us and getting to know how we partnered up. But there's so much more to come, guys. Believe me, we have all the deets, all the details, the juice, and we're bringing it to you directly from Prosperous AF.
That's right. We're so very excited. We just have some candid conversations sometimes. And that's how we want to make everybody feel. We want to be inviting, and we want to just make you feel like we're down to earth, just having a conversation. And we love to laugh, and we love to be silly. We love to be bold, and just tell it like it is. Because really, there's no need to sugarcoat some things, right? So.
Absolutely. I agree.
So the reason why we're coming to you now is because we both have families, as we introduced before. And I think one of the reasons that I was so... well, as an entrepreneur, I've always wanted to own my own time, to have freedom. And one of the reasons is because I'm a soccer mom. I want to be able to take care of my family. And so that's very, very important to me. And that took shape in my career. And since I have been working, since my kids were, my oldest is now 19, almost 20, and I've been working his entire life. Most of the time it's worked out to be a working mom, to be able to have the time off, to go to soccer. Most of the time I've had managers who understand this family life and being a working mom. Now, unfortunately, not all managers are going to be understanding of this. And so that's why I've decided at some point that I wanted to own my own business, start my own business, and so that I could have that time freedom in order to be with my children. Simply because they're never going to be this age ever again. Never going to have this time back. So time will always go forward, and you'll never be able to get this time back. So that was very important to me. And so I had to make a decision one day in order to have that time freedom, in order to take my son to soccer practice. And so it just didn't work out in the cards with the employer that we were both at. And so I ended up, leaving that place. And frankly, I have been on the hunt for something else. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of employers who are wanting to allow that flexibility for having a family. So that's why I stood up and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna create it for myself. And that's why we're here today, because we both are in the same boat where we just want to create something not only for our time freedom, but also create something for our own children to have and to go forward with. As an entrepreneur, I always have so many ideas of all these other different businesses that I have plans for in the future. And I'm continuing to have, visions of my boys working, a business alongside me. And I also want to be a role model for them as well. And so I think that's a very important skill and something very important to show your children as they're growing up. So yeah, that's how I ended up here. It just ended up that my schedule did not fit into the schedule that I was told I had to work. So that is why I am here.
And my story is similar. I am also a working mom who has managed to grow a successful business already for my family. So I do have a little bit more freedom and flexibility, just being that my husband has a lot more flexibility in his schedule being a business owner, but that doesn't always make it right? And in a place of employment for certain mandates and certain things to be pushed upon you as a working mom. Another reason why I find myself in this position is because I've come to the realization that I want to be an example of an owner contrary to what I've experienced and what I've seen. I think that there's so many workplace traumas that people endure because they need the monetary, right? You need the check, you need to survive. And it doesn't allow us to take control and take the reins of our lives in the way that we want to, because we're stuck. We're stuck having to wake up in the pit in the morning with that pit in our stomach, dreading driving to a job because you don't know what interaction you're going to have. You don't know what's going to come out. And you tolerate it because you need the funds. You need to support your family. And I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation in my own life with my own family. And I know. And so I made the decision with this last employer that I wasn't going to tolerate it. And I wasn't going to allow anyone to control me and to control the movements I make because they're in a position of power within the workplace. I am the narrator of my own destiny, and I will make sure that I bring awareness to people who endure such treatment, because let me tell you, it is a traumatic experience. And you are validated in your feelings and how you feel, no matter how much they tell you, keep the personal outside of work and keep the professional in work. Everyone does not maintain that standard. And you see microaggressions, you see point blank aggressions, you see hostility, you see ostracizing, all things that I have experienced, and I decided no more. I will not tolerate disrespect. I will build something brick by brick, and I will be an example of an owner, an entrepreneur, boss, working and interacting with people as human beings first, because we lack that in certain places. And I feel like people just are powerless in some of these institutions, and I want to give the power back to the people. And this is my way of doing it: raising awareness, sharing my story, validating your feelings, letting you know that you are not alone in how you're feeling, and it's okay. It's okay if you're feeling like you want to start something for you. That is a valid feeling. Not everyone around you might encourage you to do it. Some people might discourage you and tell you, hey, you got bills. And when you build a business, money don't come right away. But there's nothing wrong with building something for yourself while taking care of what needs to be taken care of. It'll take some extra man hours, but you have the power to do it. Think about how much you bring a workplace. Think about the workload that you prioritize. If you applied that same amount of motivation and pressure into something for yourself, your possibilities are endless. So my journey brought me here because I want to empower myself. I want to be an example for my babies and show them, hey, you do not have to be somewhere that is not right for you because you need it. You build something to you, and you show people respect, and you love people, and you give them empathy, and you talk to them like a human. So that is the reason why I'm here, because as of recent, I have experienced all those things in which I just touched on and talked about. And the activist in me is saying, oh no, oh hell no. You do not have to tolerate that. And I know there are so many people who feel the way I feel. And Amber, we experienced this together.
We did experience it together.
And we decided together, absolutely not.
Nope.
These little coins ain't gonna make me sit here and take this. And we have now become the narrators of our own destiny. Mm-hmm. And we have embarked on a journey that's bigger than us. And we want it to be, because we want to give the power back to you.
That's right. We
want you to feel the self-worth. We want you to feel the motivation and the courage to take that leap of faith with us, because we're still embarking on this fresh journey.
We're still building.
And build what you want to build based off that feeling that you have in your gut. Mm-hmm. The entrepreneurial spirit is one of a kind. And it's hard to be ignored because no matter where you go, no matter how you grow, it'll always be in the back of your mind. So we want to identify if you have that, and then we can take this journey with you.
That's right.
So Amber,
okay,
how did you know?
How did I know? Okay, so I think I told this story yesterday, but I will go into this again because I actually grew up with my mom is what I would call she was self-employed, and my dad worked for the city for 30 years in a job, and just the advancement opportunities in a job are not always present. So I did see my mom as a self-employed individual. However, it never was like, let's grow and build. It just was a lot of, I'm okay where I am. It almost was like a W-2 job, but she did work for herself. So that's what I saw growing up. And then I got married to a West African. He's from Ghana. And his spirit kind of grew into me, and he was like, why don't you start this business? You should start a blog. You should start you should start a business. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I've never really looked into it, but okay. So I think that's kind of what sparked the spirit within me, where I just was like, yeah, you know what, I think looking into things and doing research, which I'm really, really good at. I can research to no end. And
it's true, I can confirm this.
I can research to no end. It's just taking the action is the hard part for me. So research, and unfortunately, there were some ideas that I had that I didn't take action on, and I regret that. Like I said, I had some ideas for a cleaning business with clean products for the environment and for your home, and I look back, I'm like, why didn't I just do it? Like, jump in with both feet, right?
So investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why didn't I invest in Bitcoin and become a billionaire in 2016?
Yeah. So as I've been researching and listening to podcasts and reading books, I think that it grows within me, right? And seeing other people do it. And I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But again, I mean, I have, we'll talk about this too, but the fear of failure, right? I think that is strong within me sometimes. I'm a perfectionist. And I sometimes let that get in my way. But as I've grown, as I've, evolved in my business and businesses that I've built, I continue to just be faster and faster. I take action faster. And now I'm like, you know what? If it's not perfect, it's okay. We can put it out there messy and then fix it later, or go make it better later. So I've learned so much along the way, and it brings me to life. I think it's such a way to have self-improvement. I listen to a lot of self-improvement podcasts and books, and it's just made me a better person. Along the way. And I like to mention books, which is, I think this came from the Atomic Habits from James Clear, and he talks about being 1% better every day. And so I get up in the morning, and yes, I have my checklist, and that's what keeps me going, but just trying to be, 1% better every day, and just to be an example for my family, for my friends, and for people that I don't even know out there. Just out there to show you that it doesn't have to be perfect before you take action. So I think that's one of my missions, is to just admit and be open about like, these are the fears that I have. You know, fear of failure. It's not perfect. Like I fear looking stupid if I don't know something. But now I'm like, if I don't know something, I'm going to say, let me go look that up and do the research, which I know I'm good at. So it's taken some time, but I thoroughly enjoy this entrepreneurial journey. And there's nothing else that I would want to do ever again than to have my own business.
Absolutely. Your background, and I know we've discussed this multiple times, just the similarities in our background, but where mine kind of differs from the similarities would be, I grew up with a single mom who raised 7 children on her own, and money was always tight, consistently tight, and just, I remember leaving home at 18 years old and going off to school and seeing a lot of other kids, peers, who didn't have to get it out the muscle like I did, who had guidance, who had structure in place and implemented for them before they went off on their own. So for me, my motivation, and when I knew that I had an entrepreneurial spirit and I needed to have one, was when I started having children, and I understood the importance of my kids starting from here, starting from a level playing field versus starting from the bottom. Because that was my journey and that was their father's journey. You know, we don't come from money. Everything we've got, everything we have at this point, we've worked for. Just the two of us for the past 11 years. And I don't want my kids to have to go through that struggle. I want generational wealth. I want to build and leave something for them to have options and decide, this is what I want to do, or this is the path I want to take. I want them to see different varieties of what life can look like when you follow a career path or when you take the leap of faith into entrepreneurship. They are the core reason for why me and my husband decided that we needed to build a family business. And then I decided that I needed something on the side. Because if you know anything about running businesses with men, anyways, we'll leave that for another podcast. It's interesting, to say the least. It's very interesting. So I needed something for myself. So I have a few businesses that I own and manage myself. And then I needed something with my girlfriend. Because come on, this is great. Who doesn't want to talk and chat and brainstorm? And me and Amber's partnership works so well is that she's like the yin to my yang. And she brings to the table what I don't bring, because I don't do checklists, y'all, and decision trees. And you can't get me on Excel to save my life. But I can do this. And I can look pretty for the camera, and I can get on social media, and I can do a whole lot of other things with marketing and just what we bring. Our partnership works well. So for me, I have the spirit. I've acted on the spirit. It's worked for me. But then now to be able to do it in such a fun way, it's a different aspect of it for me. Because now I'm just having fun at this point. And we're hoping that we make money.
That's right.
Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, right? We can't just be sitting on coins. We need to sit on some paper at some point. But that's not the motivation, but it's the end game.
That's right.
And the end plan. And that's what I want my kids to see. I want them to see the differences in what life can be like, taking whichever path you decide to take, and them having the option to do so. Because I feel like a lot of the time, brilliant entrepreneurs are forced into the path of careership, and they are very bitter and very, very unhappy, because it's like, what's my alternative? I have student loans over $100,000 behind these degrees to go into this place, to do a job that doesn't serve purpose. It doesn't fulfill you. Mind you, nothing to the people who enjoy their careers, because there are just some people, and we need them, right? We need them for society to function, who love what they do in their careers. And that is great and wonderful for you. We appreciate you. But then there's other people who's like, I can't do this. This is not giving me the fulfillment that I anticipated, that I wanted. And this is where you determine, is that little bug in my ear? Is that little bell in my head me wanting to start something for myself? Well, you've come to the right place, because we'll help you identify that on this series, on this podcast, because we are Prosperous AF. I'm having so much fun with this.
I know you are.
I don't know if you can tell. I'm having a ball. I can do this every day.
I love it. I'm still kind of like trying to get a little bit loosey-goosey, but you know.
Don't make us bring out some shots.
We will someday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Then I'll start talking.
Yeah, it'll be wine and sip. Or wine and chat. Maybe we do that as a live.
We could do that.
Like a wine and chat on a live.
Yeah. We could do like a monthly or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can do like a Q&A.
Yeah. I know. That's when you know you're an entrepreneur, when you have too many ideas.
Bubbling.
Too many ideas.
And you can't sleep at night because you're having fever dreams about them.
And then you get in the shower and you're like, you're just bombarded by all these ideas. And I finally got some like bathtub crayons so I could write on the walls of my shower.
Kidding or serious?
No, I'm serious. That's what I did. I had so many ideas in the shower. I went on Amazon and I found these crayons for like 3-year-olds in the bathtub, right? And I was like, I'm gonna write my ideas on the wall.
Are you forgetting them before you get out of the shower?
Yeah, because I have just so many ideas.
Just coming at you.
Yeah, just coming at me. Yeah. You know, because it's usually right after the gym. Mm-hmm. I go to the gym in the morning very early. Mm-hmm. And, you know, and on the treadmill, I get all these, you know, because I'm listening to podcasts at the gym. And so I just have all these ideas usually. And they will just come in one ear and out the other. And I'm like, I have to capture this before I do.
But you know, they say that all successful entrepreneurs have had several businesses that have failed in the past. So it's like you get something, you act on it, you get something, and then you just hope something sticks.
Yeah.
And then usually after the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, maybe 15th, maybe 20th, maybe 40th try, something sticks. Just kidding. If you're at the 40th, maybe it's not for you. You need to reevaluate the spirit that you're feeling.
Find a community.
Because it ain't. It might not be that entrepreneurial spirit. Just kidding. Trial and error, which brings us into our next segment. Can I survive? And what if I fail? How do you feel about that? Can I survive? What if I fail?
Yeah, I mean, every single day I'm like, you know.
Show me the proof that's in the pudding. Where are these numbers? Give me the analytics. Maybe if the numbers make sense, I'll think it's working.
That's me.
Just a little synopsis.
Yeah. So she's like, I have this gut feeling. And I'm like, I don't know yet. I just don't know. I got to see the numbers.
Yeah.
And then when she gives me the numbers, I'm like, oh, okay, this is working. So,
yes.
But speaking about having different businesses before you really find something that sticks, that rings true to me because I remember even, this must have been, well, now my youngest is almost 15, but when he was a young baby, I had this, I already knew how to do bookkeeping, and so I wanted to start a bookkeeping business, and I wanted it to be called the Purple Paperclip, which I went onto Google, and there was already a purple paperclip. So that's when I started researching, like how to start a business and what do I have to do to find the name, that if this name is taken, then what do I do next? And so that has turned into, let's see, I still had my bookkeeping business and then I called it Bookkeepsy. And then I continued on and I renamed it Cashflow Glow. And so all of these iterations of like this bookkeeping business, because you know, I kept going though.
If you need a catchy name.
And I dabble in travel a little bit too. So let's talk about travel is my other, you know, idea and business. And so I've been wanting to do group travel, but you know what? The thing is that there's only so many hours in the day and I have too many ideas. So so I have to choose to focus on one thing. Coming back to, are you going to survive, or, you know, what if you fail? Like, yeah, sometimes you might, and that's okay. But that is where you go into a learning experience, right? I don't even call it failure. It's like you succeed or you learn, right? Like there is no failing. Life is just one big experiment, in my opinion. I think, you know, if you look at the numbers, if you track, you know, and you say, okay, I'm going to try this and track it, then, you know, you can see if it's working or not. If it's not working, you're probably gonna have to change something. If it's working, keep going, you know. But I like to say there's really no such thing as failing. It's either you succeed or you know, you get better and you can see it with the numbers, or a gut feeling too, or did you learn something? So that's my perspective on it. And you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going day after day. And if you look back, if you get as old as me, I know I'm not old, but I'm older now. You can kind of look back and you say, oh, I made it through this situation. You know, I think that I will either apply the same principles to, you know, whatever I'm experiencing, and I know I will get through it. Sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on, but if you can look back in your history, in your past, and you say, I maybe I was praying for this. Maybe this is something I was even praying for, and it's not always going to be easy. You sometimes have to get through the muck in order to succeed, right? But if this is something that you've actually even been praying for and hoping for, keep going, because it'll be successful if you just keep going. You just have to.
And I think in this society that we live in now, that there's so many misconceptions surrounding entrepreneurship. I think that people think that there's just one formula to success. And I kind of blame social media for that, right? Because we don't really see the trial and error when it comes to social media. People don't usually highlight that. They highlight the success. And I use the example of, you have someone who's blogging and vlogging and making reels and wanting to go viral on social media. You never really see the videos that don't make it, right? You always see the ones that hit.
Right.
And then it's like, boom, this takeoff. And you think, oh my God, he posted this one, and I'm using this example because I think this is my daughter's gateway to success sometimes. When we discuss it, it's like, they posted this one video about whatever they posted it about, and it blew up. And so now they have all these deals, and this person wants them, and they have all these sponsorships. And I think that is just a huge misconception about success, or what some people will call failing, but what I would call adjusting, because every business needs adjustment. Even the ones that are excelling and succeeding right now adjust. They adjust because time doesn't stay stagnant. Ideas have to be fresh. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to think outside the box to stay afloat. And that is what separates businesses that kind of go away versus one that stay decades.
Correct.
Because you need to be innovative. You need to create. You need to change and identify changes, because that's how you will stay in the market. That's how you'll stay afloat. So for me, I don't grade failure. I don't use the word fail, because it's such a ended word. It's such a grounded word. When you failed, there's no other option. And for me, and my mindset, the mindset that I'm in when it comes to businesses, is there should always be another option. There should always be another path. When you say fail, you have put yourself up against the wall, and there's nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. You adjust. You take a detour, and you find your path. And through those adjustments, you will find that one that sticks. Mm-hmm. You will be able to enter into the market with something that the consumer needs. You'll be able to identify your niche. You'll be able to identify your audience, your target market, all these things through adjustment. And then you can elevate, not necessarily succeed, because succeed is another word that I feel like is so closed-minded. There's no level to success. You elevate and you keep elevating until you feel like you can't elevate anymore. You've done all that you can do. So for me, just in, the businesses that I've opened and the ones that we're now working on, I feel like there's so much elevation to happen, and I don't even want to think about failing. I don't want to think about not succeeding. If we put something out that doesn't work, I feel like we'll go back to the drawing board. Mm-hmm. We'll brainstorm as we always do every morning, and we will adjust until we reach success. Failure, that's putting yourself in a box, and I do not believe in boxes. I don't live my life that way. I feel like my opportunities are endless, no matter what path I take. So I eliminate those words out of my mind, because once you keep it in there, it's always a way out. It's a way for you to be like, this is failing. I'm going to go jump back into that job I didn't like. This is failing. So it's always a cop-out. And as an entrepreneur, there will be times when you're soaring, and there will be times when you're low. And you need to be able to have a mindset of adjustment versus failure. So that's just my take on the whole, can I survive if I fail? You have no other option but to survive. Make it work so that you don't need to be in survival mode. Make it work for you so that... I think every entrepreneur that embarks on this journey wants to be free, right? They don't want to exchange time for money, because time is valuable. Time is valuable whether you're by yourself or you have a family. You want to use it doing other things. You want money to flow without you even thinking about it, because the essence of time is the only thing we can't buy. It's the only thing we have no control over. So if we want to spend it the way we want to spend it, and not be at a 9-to-5 all day and then only have 4 hours with your kids or your family, your loved ones at home, and then wake up and do it again, that time is passing you by. You can never get it back. So in my mind, I'm wanting to alleviate myself from that mindset. I want to alleviate myself from that path. So I am fighting to get out of survival mode. Because for me, that's survival mode. Exchanging my valuable time that I can use to be with my family, to be with my loved ones, my friends, is something I don't want to sacrifice any longer. So I will sacrifice this work now so that I can have that freedom in the back end. It's what motivates me to survive in my entrepreneurial journey.
I love it.
We just talking like we normally do. This is what we do on a daily basis, guys. We brainstorm when we talk about our journey. We talk about where we see ourselves going. And we decided that, hey, wouldn't it be beneficial for people to see this and maybe trigger something within themselves that they might not feel like they can trigger right now, to be motivational, to want, people to embark on this journey and path. And then not to only embark on it, but to embark on it with us. Because I will remind you, this is a new journey. As much as we seem as we've been doing this for a long time, we've done it for a while separately, but together we're embarking on this journey together freshly, based off what we've built in our different lives.
And I would say, if you're struggling, find a community. And I know it's not easy to find somebody like-minded, which is why at some point I was like, I need a partner. But I think that, and we'll get into this in other episodes, but finding a mentor is very, very important. Somebody who has been there before is very important. And to be honest, I've heard this before, where you can find even a virtual mentor, somebody who doesn't even realize that they're mentoring you via their podcast, their book, all the content that they put out there. Use that as a path to mentorship. Find the one person that you're like, yep, that rings well with me. And so you can find a virtual mentor, or in your own city, start going to networking events. And I know that for me, that's scary. For her, it's probably not so scary.
But we had a blast at the Black Entrepreneurial event that we went to at the Capitol. It was so fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. We got to meet a lot of people who are like-minded, who are also in different stages of their entrepreneurial journey. Fun, laughter, enjoyment. We got to talk about, just what the community needs, whether that be, the Black community, BIPOC community, minority communities, what they need to be successful and sustainable within this entrepreneurship. We got to network with a lot of cool people. I'm pretty sure we'll include some clippets of just what we did in this first episode. But networking events like that get you going.
Yes.
They get you motivated because you see people in the same position as you or in the same stages of your journey as you, and then you see people that have passed through your stage and where they're at. You hear their stories, you hear their adversities, you hear their hurdles, and it lights a fire up in you. I was in that Capitol lit up because it's not just you. I don't want anyone thinking your journey may be personalized to you, but the things you face, people face them in this journey every day. We face them in our own journeys and probably will in this partnership journey. You just have to learn how to maneuver. You have to have a supportive base, brainstorming ideas. This is my brainstorm hub. As I am to her, we talk about these things. Exactly. We talk about these things and we iron them through, because sometimes an idea is just a starting point. It's not the finalized product. And you build on that. You breathe light into that. You make adjustments to that. And then you get this golden idea that you can now put into fruition. So having that community that you can bounce ideas off of, having that mentor, having that virtual mentor to enlight that spark is all things that we utilize. Her more than me. I don't really. I'm jumping on this podcast journey with her and listening to podcasts. But I'm fortunate enough to have an in-person mentor, friend, sister who I can brainstorm with. And that's a wonderful feeling. So I encourage you to start your journey there. Get that bug ringing in people's ears. What I will discourage you from doing is entertaining conversations with people who want to discourage you, because then that's another way out. When you are an entrepreneur and you have that itch, you need to speak with like-minded individuals, because sometimes when the mindset isn't the same, the discouragement is off the charts of, well, how are you going to take care of this? How are you going to pay bills? You need to think about your financial security. Entrepreneurship can give you immense financial security if you apply the time and the commitment. So making sure that you find individuals that think like you, that also have that itch, that have embarked on that journey, so then you're not yet again finding another way out.
Yeah, so you're not alone.
And not alone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because it can be very lonely.
Very lonely.
Yeah.
Very, very lonely. So what we are expecting you all to gather and gain from this podcast is... Vodcast.
I don't know.
Vodcast.
That was a
because we're coming to you face to face on video. Is motivation, direction, guidance, trial and error, because we are by no means perfect.
No.
And we are also experimenting. Raw, clean, clear-cut journey We're telling it all. We're bringing you with us on this journey. We're giving you visibility into our not failures. We don't use that word.
Journey.
Visibility into our journey, because we want you to take this with us from start to finish, wherever finish may be and beyond. We want to come to you raw, unfiltered. We want to share our past experiences that have led us to this point. I know we touched on it today, but there's so much more to know, guys, because it has shaped who we are as women, as mothers, with the community that we're trying to service. We feel that the ideas that we bring forth and talk about is something that could be beneficial to any one of you. So we employ that you allow us to be your virtual mentors and embark on this journey with us. We would be as much mentors to you all as you would be to us. We encourage you to reach out to us. We are local. We are by no means celebrity or A1 status. We want to embark on this journey. We want to help. We want to encourage. The podcast is just one aspect of our business. We also consult. We consult in finance services and we consult in HR services. Let us help you take your business to the next level. We are serving a population that's so underserved. Amber and I have talked in lengths about how a lot of minority-owned businesses open and close within a year because they're not given the tools. They don't have the tools. They don't know where to start from. And a business idea is just one aspect. You have to have the systems implemented to upkeep and scale and grow your business. Let us do that for you. This is what we're wanting to bring on a vodcast basis and a consulting basis. We're here for you. We're pouring our heart, our soul, our minds into this business. We are operating out of love and grace because we've all been there, and we're appealing to you. If this resonates with you, whether you're a business owner already or you're entering into the world, we would love to share our experiences, analyze your situation, and just let you know if we can help, and also be a resource hub for you if you need any other things, or we can't help with your specific situation, but we know a person that can. Because that's another aspect that I don't feel minority-owned businesses get to hub into, is that referral network, the fact that we can help each other and still all succeed. So this is why we decided to launch this part of our business, because we want to come to you front-facing and direct, and we want you to see the blood, sweat, and tears we're pouring into this, not only for you, not only for us, but for the generations to come, for our kiddos that are growing up. Just analyzing and allowing people to know that their options are endless in this world, completely endless. And with that being said, I'll let Amber take over and just kind of let you know what we got coming up in the hopper next week. What do we got?
We got our episode 2, which is called Going from What If to Let's Do This. So,
ooh, action. I like that.
Yes, let's do this, because you can't sit in what if mode, because what if is not reality.
It's not.
And it'll go over and over and over in your head, and if you don't take action, then you'll never see the results of your ideas. Again, coming back to one of the reasons why this partnership started was because I already knew that I was looking for a business partner, and I kept saying, okay, what if this, what if that, and I was on the lookout, and I knew, based on trial and error, that, well, I hadn't really been in a partnership before, but working with different people along the way, I knew that I needed somebody who was kind of complementary to what I do, because yes, give me the data, give me the systems, give me the checklists, and I needed somebody who could be more out there with the marketing and just be out, you know, like just show your personality, which, you know, sometimes is a little bit more difficult for me. I love being out and about. I love being social, but it takes me a little bit longer to warm up sometimes. So
and I'm just ready to go.
She's always ready to go.
Go mode. Show me the camera. Lights, camera, action.
So I knew that I needed somebody like Francine to move forward. So, you know, just proposing, like, what if this idea, and I was so scared to, like, you know, propose that, and, you know, because I don't like rejection. And, but immediately she just was like, yes, let's do this.
It's like
and
she couldn't ask
like, let's do this. And I was like,
it's like, what did you think I was gonna say? Like, girl, yeah, sign me up. I didn't even really know what it was yet. I was like, yep, I'm down, whatever it is.
We didn't.
And we built it out.
We didn't know.
And now we're here in front of you lovely folks, wanting and needing to help our communities.
And we want to get to know you.
Absolutely.
We're going to be doing some networking, and we have our business cards ready to go. We have our physical ones and our virtual ones. We have merch coming for us to wear, and hopefully for future purchases too.
Absolutely.
So, because we all want to be prosperous.
Dope. Prosperous AF is dope. Well, with that being said, where do you want to end off? What do you want to tell the folks before we log out?
Let's see. Keep going. Keep going. That was my affirmation this past week, is just keep going. You know, when you get into that, you'll get into that funk, right? Things will happen that you're like, I don't think I can do this any longer. And, you know, like I said, maybe you might need to talk to somebody. You might need to make a phone call or listen. Go find a podcast, and we're going to have some resources available on our website to, you know, give you some motivation too. But I think that's the number one thing, is just to keep going. If you have that spark in your brain for, you know, I think that I'm an entrepreneur, or if you're already established and you're going through the mud right now, or maybe if you're, you know, flying high, that's great. But there's the sky's the limit if you keep going.
But just to piggyback off what Amber said, it's not easy. It never will be. There's no part of this journey that'll be easy peasy. Anyone who tells you that is not being truthful to you. There will always be stumbling blocks, but the strength, motivation, and your ability to jump over obstacles will speak volumes as you navigate through your entrepreneurial journey. Support is key and essential, because there are days you're going to want to break down and cry in the shower without the shower crayons, or maybe with the shower crayons.
That has happened.
Completely up to you if you want the shower crayons or not. But no shade, no shade. But
I'm famous for the shower crayons.
Absolutely will. You should have never gave me that information. Never. And then on our show, shower crayons? Oh yeah, I'm telling the kids. I'm telling Omar the moment I get home. But yes, it's a beautiful journey. As you go through it. It helps you understand what people before you and what people after you will pass through. And when you can sit and just take a breath, because you know you've put in the work and it's working out how it should, it'll be a fulfilling feeling. It'll be one of the best feelings you can have. And we're here for you. We're here for you in any capacity that you need us within the realm of our expertise. And we will make sure that we are transparent with this journey with you, because I think honesty, truth speaks volumes with anyone who is unsure about embarking on this type of journey. So without further ado, as much as we love to talk on all day, this is the introductory point of our series. I encourage you to come back and join us again the following Wednesday. We will be launching these episodes every Wednesday for the next 5 weeks. And like I said, it is the series of the Intro to Entrepreneurship. We will be dissecting and talking about our journey, tips, tricks, tools that you can utilize as you decide if this is truly for you. Hence the title, Is This For Me? We decided it was for us, and I don't think we're ever going to look back because I cannot do it. It is for me.
That's right.
And I will embrace that part of this journey. But for now, love ya. Can't wait to see you back next week.